The wind howls across the Scottish Highlands. A single whisper breaks through the mist. Claire. Then silence. But in that silence lies the weight of centuries, and the sound of time itself, waiting to turn once more. For 10 long years, Outlander has carried us through love, loss, war, and magic, across centuries that refuse to stay still. And now, after everything we've witnessed, from the stones of Craignadown to the fires of revolution, the story is returning. One final time. This is not just another season. This is the storm before the silence. Outlander Season 8. The final chapter. It all began with a heartbeat, not one from this century, but from another. One that called out through time and refused to be forgotten. Claire Randall, a nurse from 1945, touched the ancient stones and vanished into the 18th century, into a world of danger, rebellion, and forbidden love. There, she met Jamie Fraser, the Highland warrior whose courage matched her own, and whose love defied the very laws of time. Their love was not an ordinary one. It was a bond that stood against war, betrayal, and the pull of destiny itself. Through every season, they have fought for each other, across years, continents, and centuries. Each moment, whether it was a stolen kiss in the Scottish mist or a tearful goodbye across timelines, has left its mark on every fan who followed their story. But now, the world they built stands at the edge of change. Season 8 opens not with peace, but with tension. A world shifting beneath their feet. The echoes of war grow louder, and history's shadow grows darker. Claire and Jamie know that time is not their friend. Every choice carries weight. Every heartbeat could be the last before history closes in again. In this new season, we return to the heart of Outlander. Love that refuses to die, even when centuries try to bury it. The past and future are no longer separate. They collide. We see the cost of every decision they've made, every sacrifice that brought them here. The stakes have never been higher, and the journey has never been more personal. The hills of Scotland hide secrets once again, letters left unsent, promises made in the dark. The ghosts of old friends and enemies whisper through the trees. Season 8 brings everything full circle. Every heartbreak, every miracle, every moment that has defined this legendary saga. And as the fire burns low, we feel it. The sense that this isn't just an ending. It's a farewell to a love that survived time itself. Outlander Season 8 isn't just another chapter. It's the heartbeat that reminds us why we fell in love with this story in the first place. Time may change the world, but it never erases the people who dared to fight for love. That is the heart of Outlander. From the first moment Claire stepped into the past, she wasn't just rewriting history. She was rewriting what it means to love beyond reason, beyond time itself. Every season has shown us the same truth. Love is not gentle. It's fierce. It's painful. It's the kind of love that asks everything of you. Your loyalty, your courage, even your life. And yet Jamie and Claire never turned away. They loved each other in a world where every choice carried a cost. A love so powerful, it survived war, loss, betrayal, and the endless ticking of time. But Outlander was never just about romance. It's about survival, about what it means to hold on when everything around you falls apart. The show has carried us from the misty moors of Scotland to the battlefields of Culloden, from the colonies of America to the burning edge of revolution. Every land, every war, every heartbreak has shaped these two souls, and the world they built together. And yet, with every victory came a question. How long can love survive when time itself stands against it? The answer has always been the same. As long as there's one heartbeat left. Because Outlander isn't about escaping fate. It's about facing it, together. That's what made Claire and Jamie more than lovers. They became symbols of resilience, hope, and sacrifice. As Season 8 begins, that legacy weighs heavier than ever. The years have changed them, hardened them, and still, the fire between them burns. The kind of fire that refuses to die, even when the world demands silence. Every scar tells a story, every wrinkle a memory. Their love has been tested by centuries, and yet it stands unbroken. This is what makes Outlander unforgettable. It's not just the battles or the time travel, it's the heartbeat beneath it all. The story reminds us that even in the face of war and loss, love remains the strongest weapon we have. The kind that builds nations, the kind that breaks curses, the kind that never fades, no matter how much time tries to erase it. And as we step into this final season, one truth echoes louder than ever before. Time bends for no one, but love finds a way through every century. Because when destiny calls, only the brave follow. And Jamie and Claire, they've always been brave. The air feels different now. Heavy, still, as if the world itself is holding its breath. The winds that once carried whispers of love now carry the sound of marching feet. The storm is coming, and in Outlander Season 8, it will not ask who stands ready. It will simply arrive. This is the season where everything collides, past and present, love and loyalty, life and death. The world Claire and Jamie fought to build is no longer safe. The fires of war have reached Frasers Ridge, and even the stones seem to tremble beneath their weight. Every choice they've made has led here, to a moment where survival depends not on strength alone, but on faith. The old alliances that once held firm begin to crack. Familiar faces return, some seeking forgiveness, others vengeance. And in the shadows, secrets that were long buried start to surface again. The ghosts of history never sleep, and this time, they've come to collect what's owed. Claire feels it, the pull of time calling her once more. That faint hum that started everything now grows louder, almost unbearable. It's not just an echo anymore. It's a warning. Time is shifting again, and what lies beyond it may demand a price even she cannot pay. Jamie, the warrior who has already given everything, now faces a world where every battle feels personal. His strength has always come from love, but love alone may not be enough this time. The lines between freedom and loss blur as he's forced to protect what little remains of peace. Every swing of his sword feels like a heartbeat, one closer to the end. The tone of this season is darker, more intimate. The wars outside reflect the wars within. Every character stands on the edge of something irreversible. Loyalties are tested, and history's weight presses harder with every step they take. There's no escaping what's coming, not even for those who've outrun time itself. This isn't just another chapter. It's a reckoning. The past, the future, the choices made in between. All of it comes crashing together like thunder on the horizon. The love story that defied time now faces its final trial. And as the storm breaks, we realize this was never about going back in time. It was about how far we're willing to go for the people we love. So as the clouds gather and the rain begins to fall, remember this. Every ending is born from a heartbeat, and every storm begins with silence. And that silence is about to be broken. It begins quietly, too quietly. A soft flicker of candlelight, the rustle of parchment, the steady crackle of fire in a room where no one dares to speak first. Claire's hands tremble as she seals a letter, one that carries the weight of everything they've survived. Her voice, calm but broken, whispers into the flame. For him, if I do not return. The first look at Outlander Season 8 doesn't roar. It whispers. It draws you in like a confession. There's a haunting stillness in every frame, as if the past itself is listening. The ridge stands silent, but beneath its peace, something is stirring. The forests that once sheltered love now hold secrets too dangerous to stay buried. We see flashes. A map spread across a wooden table marked with red ink. The distant call of a horn. The shadow of a sword unsheathed. Someone's voice says, "The future is not ours to keep, only to protect." And in that single line, the entire season unfolds like prophecy. The world feels older now, worn. Every corner of Frasers Ridge carries the scars of what came before. Yet even in the fading light, love clings to life. Desperate, stubborn, unrelenting. Claire stands by the window, her reflection fractured by raindrops. Jamie steps into the frame behind her, his hand brushing hers. A small gesture, yet it feels like defiance against time itself. But this first look isn't just about tenderness. It's about reckoning. We see faces hardened by loss, eyes filled with secrets. There's fear, but also something fiercer. Hope, burning like embers that refuse to die. Each image feels like a goodbye wrapped in a promise. Because this season isn't just leading to an ending, it's building towards something eternal. The cinematography breathes history. The camera lingers longer, as if afraid to let go. The light flickers between past and present, reminding us that Outlander has never been about time travel. It's about what survives it: love, memory, sacrifice. And just when the silence threatens to swallow everything, a single heartbeat cuts through the dark. Slow, steady, final. The words fade in on screen. Outlander, the final chapter begins. Then, thunder, the sound of destiny awakening. The first look ends, not with closure, but with a question. When love has crossed every boundary, what's left to fight for? Every story reaches a point where the past demands payment. For the Frasers, that moment has come. The echoes of every choice, every battle, every promise, they're all coming back. Season 8 isn't just another chapter, it's Judgment Day for time itself. The ridge, once a symbol of peace, now stands on the edge of ruin. Smoke curls through the trees, the smell of ash clinging to the wind. The air feels heavier, like it remembers every tear that's ever fallen on its soil. And in the midst of it all, Claire and Jamie stand side by side, looking toward a horizon that refuses to promise mercy. They've faced armies, storms, and centuries. But this is different. This is the fight that doesn't end when the swords fall. This is the battle inside the soul, between love and duty, hope and despair. Because how do you protect a world that's already crumbling? How do you hold on to a love that time keeps trying to erase? Claire carries the ghosts of 2 centuries inside her. The memories of a life she left behind, and the pain of the one she built here. Her knowledge of the future is both a gift and a curse. Every glimpse she's had of what's to come weighs heavier now. She knows what history demands, but she also knows the price of defying it. Jamie, scarred but unbroken, faces his own reckoning. The warrior who once fought for Scotland now fights for something smaller. His family, his home, his heart. Yet even he can feel it. Time is closing in. There's no running anymore. Every path leads to one truth: that love cannot stop fate, but it can face it head-on. In Outlander Season 8, every heartbeat counts. The stakes are no longer about who wins or loses, but who endures. There's a haunting beauty in the way this story folds in on itself, the way the past catches up to the future, until they're one and the same. The show has always lived in the spaces between centuries, between choices, between love and loss. And now, all those spaces are closing. As the storm reaches its height, there's no sound but the wind and the echo of a vow once made beneath the Scottish sky. I will find you. It's not just a promise between lovers. It's a declaration to time itself. A reminder that even when the story ends, their bond remains. Because Outlander has never been about how love begins, but about how it refuses to die. The reckoning is here. The fire is rising. And as the world bends beneath history's weight, one truth burns brighter than all the rest. Love is the only thing that time cannot conquer. It doesn't start with thunder this time. It starts with stillness, a calm so deep it feels like the world itself has stopped breathing. The war has not yet ended, but silence has begun to settle. The kind that follows after years of running, fighting, and holding on. And in that silence, a truth begins to take shape. Every story must end, even the ones that feel like they never could. The walls of Fraser's Ridge have heard laughter, prayers, confessions, and heartbreak. They've watched the seasons change and the years disappear. But now, the light that spills through its windows feels different. Softer, older. It touches the wood like a final blessing, as if saying goodbye in its own quiet way. Claire stands by the hearth, her hands still, her eyes tracing the shadows that dance along the floor. She knows what endings feel like. She's lived through time itself, seen how history takes and takes again. But this ending isn't about loss. It's about meaning. Every scar, every tear, every choice, they were never just pain. They were proof that love mattered, that it left something behind. Jamie, ever the soldier, carries that same knowing in his silence. He's not the man who once fought for glory or land. He's the man who fought for the sound of her voice, the warmth of her touch, the life they built out of chaos. And as the wind rustles through the valley, he looks to the horizon, not with fear, but with peace. He's kept his promise. He found her, again and again, across time itself. The beginning of goodbye isn't sorrow. It's gratitude. It's the gentle acceptance that what was lived can never be undone. The journey through centuries, through love and war, has shaped them into something eternal. What was once two lives bound by accident has become a legend written in time. And yet, as we stand with them in this quiet, we realize goodbyes in Outlander are never final. Every ending has always been another doorway, another lifetime waiting on the other side of the stones. The story may rest, but it never dies. Because as long as there are hearts that remember, the world of Claire and Jamie will always breathe. The music swells softly, not triumphant, not tragic, but tender, a farewell that feels like coming home. The screen fades to black as one final line echoes through the stillness. Love doesn't end when the story does. It lingers, like the echo of a heartbeat across time. Time never truly ends. It bends, it fades, it remembers. And in that space between what was and what will be, Outlander still breathes. The stones at Craig na Dun stand tall again, untouched by centuries. The wind hums softly, carrying whispers of every life that passed through its circle. Somewhere in the distance, a heartbeat answers, steady, familiar, eternal. It's Claire's. It's Jamie's. It's every heart that ever believed love could defy the clock. This final season isn't just about saying goodbye to characters. It's about closing a story that became part of us. A story that taught us that love isn't bound by history, that destiny can be rewritten by faith, and that home is not a place. It's the person who finds you when the world forgets your name. As the music swells, we see fragments, hands brushing through tall grass, a ring catching the light, the glow of a fire fading to embers. These are not just memories, they're echoes, proof that even when time moves on, the feeling remains. Outlander has always been more than a story about time travel. It's a story about the spaces between, where hope hides, where promises wait, where love endures. Claire once asked, "Can time ever truly separate us?" And across every storm, every lifetime, the answer has always been no. Love finds a way. Through war, through loss, through centuries. It's written in their eyes, carried in their vows, whispered in every goodbye. That's the soul of Outlander. It doesn't end, it transforms. Now, as Season 8 approaches, we're not just watching the end of a show. We're witnessing the closing of a legend. A love story that began with a heartbeat and will end with one too. The faces may fade, the battles may rest, but the echo remains. An eternal hum that reminds us of what it means to love without time. The screen darkens. A single line fades in, slow, deliberate, final. For love is the one thing time can never conquer. A pause. Then, the faint sound of wind through the highlands, the stones shimmering in mist. And just before the screen goes black, one last whisper. Soft, haunting, timeless. I will find you. Silence. Then fade to the logo.